Hello everybody, welcome to this amazing tier list of Dead by Daylight items. Thanks to Twitch, we hit the incentive to get this video done. I'm making it on Tier Maker, so this is going to be the first time I've done a tier list like this. I apologize if you don't like it. Let me know in the comments down below if you don't like how I've approached this. But otherwise, this is how I'm going to do all the tier lists in the future, unless, make that change. Or if you like it, that's good. So we're going to rush through this as fast as I can, and then we'll talk about the items, what they do, what they're good with, their combinations, and all that. And I'll also place them on here. So first, let's start with toolboxes. These are the best items in the game. Hands down, I think that completing your objective is the most important thing in the game. Worn toolbox is not the worst toolbox, to be honest. There is one worse than this. But this will guarantee that you finish one generator, faster than you normally would. And finishing the objective is very important. The only reason that survivors would lose is that they just couldn't get all the generators done to open a gate. So an item that helps you do that is very powerful. I know a lot of killers that dodge lobbies with too many toolboxes because they don't want to deal with how fast generators get done. Now moving up to the next tier, the standard toolbox is just an overall upgrade. Same speed of repair, but has a lot more charges. And I made a whole video on toolboxes and their efficiency and the best combinations for it. And from what I've learned, it's not the speed of the toolbox that matters. It matters how long it's working for. So the more charges, the better. Which then brings me to the mechanics toolbox. This toolbox repairs faster, but at only 80 charges. The standard is actually better, just because of the duration in which you can repair generators at a faster speed overall saves you more time. And then you've got the mechanics toolbox, engineer's toolbox. Mechanics is green, engineer's purple. It again, 80 charges, even faster, but this one cannot sabotage. Thankfully, sabotage is worthless. In this meta, sabotage means nothing. You can meme with it and you can try to bully a killer with it, but there are so many hooks nearby that getting rid of hooks is hard to do. Pulling that off and the reward for it is not usually very rewarding. Having to bring a whole bunch of friends to do that would require all of them for it to even work. Which is why Alex's toolbox belongs in C. This toolbox repairs slower than every other toolbox in the game. It has 130 charges, but because of its slower speed, it's just not worth it. It's for sabotage. It sabotages faster than all the other toolboxes, but sabotage is worthless, so this toolbox is worthless. But if you were to find it in game, it's still usable. So yeah, use it up. Use it on a generator, but it's slower. Great for memeing, great for if you want to play around sabotage hooks, or even traps, if the trapper is played. But good luck with that. Moving on to the Commodious toolbox, I think that's the best item in the game. Hands down, Commodious toolbox has so many charges that it blows every other item out of the water. This sucker can get 2.5 generators done, throw add-ons on it, best item in the game. Swivel socket, which increases repair speed, and then wire spool to increases charges so we can get 3 generators done, is perfect. Realistically, in a game, if your allies have not done their fair share of generators, and you have to get the 3rd one done, your teammates failed you. Like, hands down. They just absolutely ruined your day. So the Commodious toolbox should never run out on you, unless you are doing all 5 generators for some reason. So you should be able to walk into a game, finish 2 full generators, no problem, with additional speed, and walk out. If you survive, you get to keep your Commodious toolbox. Fantastic. Great reusability. Overall, really good item. Moving on to medkits. These are items that are interesting. They're not that great. They're not that bad either. Having a way to heal others faster is a fantastic tool. Botany, there's several other perks that are similar to this effect that you don't need medkits, but if you want to try to heal as fast as you possibly can, medkits will help push you to that limit. They are a good way of using instant heals, especially this camping one. Hemorrhagic Needle and Stypic Agent break your medkit, but because this is so cheap, it's okay to break it, and you get a full heal out of it. Then you bring in the first aid kit. The camping kit can only give you 1 full heal by itself. The First aid kit gives you 1.5. The emergency kit gives you 1.5 heals, but faster speed. Of course, that speed only applies to other survivors. So again, it's not really for yourself, but it can be. But that's where the Ranger's Med Kit comes in. If you want to replace self-care and make sure that you have enough heals for yourself, the Ranger's Med Kit comes with 2 full heals, and you can do gel dressings to make it 3. Easy. And then you just increase your healing speed on it with a couple of other add-ons. The Stypic Agent, as we were talking before, take away 25% of the maximum charges. So that works on all 3 of these medkits here. You'll just break this one immediately to use Stypic. You can get 1 full heal on both of these and then Stypic on the next heal. But with the Ranger's Medkit, you can use both the needle and the Stypic. Just add an additional, at least 1 additional charge, so you can throw something small on there. Just so you, when you reduce it by 50%, you have enough for more than 1 heal. So you can get a full heal and a needle off, which is fantastic. Very powerful tool. But the med kits, I would always prioritize a toolbox over it. Finishing your objectives far more important than healing someone else. I would bring perks to heal someone else better. Autodidact, that's a hell of a meme. I understand people are going to ask why did I suggest that, but in a different video I'll explain it. Autodidact botany will make it. There are so many healing perks, especially the ones coming up with Stranger Things. The medkits are not really needed. Always take a toolbox if you can. If you can't, then sure, go with a medkit. Now, talking about flashlights, these are arguably the best items in the game. But I argue Commodious Toolbox is better just because I'm a gen jockey and I know the value of having to do 3 to 4 generators by yourself. Flashlights, on the other hand, though, with a little bit of practice, you can also make them do some of the most important things in the game too, which is save your allies from a certain death. Your allies are very important. They distract, they get gens done, hopefully. Maybe not, but you need them to live so that you can live. So running flashlights allows you to prevent a hook from happening, which is important. You're very limited on these hooks. So blinding a killer as they pick up a survivor extends the chase time, gives your friend an extra chance, and then you can go back to gens or whatever the hell you're doing. Or stalk them again and let the gen jockey with the Commodious Toolbox get the work done. Point is, these flashlights have very little difference. 8 seconds of flashlight use, 8 seconds, and the consumption rate is decreased, so it's slightly over 8 seconds. I think it's like 10, but they blind at the same time, so it takes about the same time. A utility flashlight, 12 seconds. Has a longer blind duration as well. Overall, the best is obviously to use the utility flashlight. It does say it has decreased accuracy. Accuracy is a pointless stat on flashlights. It doesn't affect anything. I've asked around. All the people who've done numbers have told me that accuracy does nothing. And if you know what accuracy does, please let me know in the comments down below. We've theorized that accuracy is just the up and down wobble, but that's hardly affected at all. And if that is it, it's absolutely useless. Absolutely pointless, and don't worry, you can just easily get the blind off by pointing the flashlight. If you're on console, this is far harder to use because aiming on console is a pain in the ass. But on PC, it's a lot easier, and when you can get it down, you will bully the crap out of killers. Easy way to use the flashlight by yourself if you're not trying to save anybody is when you drop a pallet, killer breaking the pallet, you get a free easy blind and you can hold it there. This also generates boldness, blood points, and overall is a fantastic. So, the Commodious Toolbox and the flashlights are absolutely powerful items. If you are a killer, I would worry about these 4 things. Of course, if you just see toolboxes in general, watch out. Medkits, don't worry about too much. Now, maps are interesting, but the Alex's Toolbox still better. We talked about flashlights granting boldness blood points. I believe that maps grant objective blood points. Correct me if I'm wrong, but objective blood points. And they track things, so when you read the map, you can see things you've tracked. The base map only tracks generators, and you have to put add-ons on it to be able to track other things, which makes it not so appealing. It is not a common item to find in the Blood Web. And the fact you have to have add-ons for it to be very effective for the blood points kind of makes it crap. It makes it an expensive investment that you are using the blood points you gain from this map to pay back off and then start benefiting from. And the fact you have to use the add-ons kind of sucks, which brings up the rainbow map, which is better. It's better. It's actually a lot better than this map. In fact, it tracks everything that the other add-ons would provide. Generators, hooks, exit gates, and the hatch. And I believe totems and the other bits as well, like trappers, traps, and stuff. Overall, the rainbow map is significantly better but more expensive, so it's not better than medkits because you're going to put too much blood points into it to make it count. But for the gimmick of escaping through the hatch, the rainbow map's kind of one of those things you bring along so that you can easily find the hatch, and when you use it, you reveal it to everybody. You're using a rainbow map, everybody sees what you see when you're revealing it. So helps you find hex totems, helps you find totems you couldn't as long as you were near them when you ran by them. But also notice that when it grants you blood points, it'll say something was tracked, and then you can be like, oh, well, something's nearby that I haven't seen before. Don't have to directly look at it. It's just a good gimmick to play with, but again, everything above it is a bit more useful. The keys now are an interesting topic. The broken key is the worst item in the game. It has 10 seconds charge on it, and it has no function other than the charge. And what the charge is that keys effectively can read auras based on the add-ons you put on it. So they're useless without the add-ons. So the add-ons let you read the killer's aura, so you can see where he's at when he's in a specific range of you. I believe it's 32 meters. So that means you can see them when you hear their heartbeat. And that actually is very helpful. The problem is the broken key only has 10 seconds. And this 10 seconds gets reduced by 1 every time you use it because it takes 1 second of charge just to build the meter to start reading. So you actually only have 9 seconds, that's only if you use it 1 time. Absolutely worthless. But then you bring in the dull key. Dull key has 5 seconds, and you're like, well, 5 seconds is half of 10. And, well, you're right. But what the dull key can do that the broken key can't is open the hatch early and let you out. The broken key can't even open the hatch. If you found this in the middle of a game, you are not gonna have a good time. You have the worst item in the game. It doesn't work. But at least if you find a dull key, you can open the hatch, and so that's far more useful. Skeleton key, on the other hand, has more uses than the dull key. It has 30 seconds of charge. This is a key that actually has use to find the killer, to find your allies. But again, with 30 seconds charge, this key is very expensive for what it's for. You're typically going to run add-ons to prevent being, losing your key when you die or when you do exit through the hatch. There are add-ons to protect the keys, one for death, one for escaping. That way you can get more use out of it. But if you use both these add-ons as a just in case to keep the key, you're not able to use the aura reading at all. But if you use the aura reading, then you risk losing the key once you get to that point. So what you do use it for is up to you. There are a couple add-ons to make it work, but this is my item tier list. So just to summarize, Commodity's Toolbox best item in the game. Flashlights are the best item if you make it that way, but because it has that potential, I'm putting them in S. A, toolboxes. Ranger Medkit replaces self-care, so it allows you to have another perk. Fantastic. The medkits are just if you have nothing else. Rainbow map and skeleton key if you're going for achievements, gimmicks, just to have fun, but not all that useful. But because of how rare they are and what they do provide, they're moderately. Alex's Toolbox, avoid like the plague. The map, if you find it good, get some blood points out of it, you're not going to find too much use out of it. Dull key, if you're trying to get out of the hatch for some reason, and I don't know. I honestly don't know. If you're going out the hatch for an achievement or you just want out early, there you go. Broken key, again, if you find this in your blood web and you have to get it for some reason, I'm so sorry. But other than that, that wraps up my tier list. What are your thoughts? Do you agree for most part, or what would you move around? I know that the items are, well, when you group them together, it makes it a little easier, but I think I did a good job breaking them up per their individual use. If you want me to do one including the event items, let me know. I don't think you would. If you need one for add-ons, please let me know. Other than that, I'll see you all next time. We have a map tier list coming up next. If you want that tier list, let me know. If you don't, that's a shame. Let me know if you like how this video is constructed, all that stuff. Just give me feedback. I love it, and doing it live sick is it was interesting. Giving you full thoughts without just having to script it out. So thank you all once again for watching. The tier lists will be coming thanks to Twitch again for hitting their incentives. If you want to support that cause, let me know. I really haven't talked to YouTube too much about it. It's more of a Twitch thing, for sure. But if you guys are interested in hitting that goal and want to see more of stuff like this, again, just let me know and I'll come out with more information for you. Thank you all, and as always, good game.